lecture, continuing in chapter 4. So today we will cover properties of the fluid. So hope all of you will be ready. So today for this topic, we're having 4 objectives or 4 outcomes that we need to learn. Also, the first one will be the basic concept. So everything will be covered here. The basic concept, such as no sleep condition, what happened to the no sleep, what is the anything that we will learn here. So the various type of the fluid flow. So we need to learn the type of the fluid flow. So we need to understand the vapor pressure, the occurrence in the cavitation, and the final one we will learn about the viscosity. Okay. So the first fundamental topic that we need to learn here is a no sleep condition. Okay. So we start here. This is number 1, the fundamental concept. So this one is a no sleep condition affected in the we capture, or the experiment will be already been done in the aerofoil or wing, aeroplane wing. This is what we call the cross sectional. So to understand this, kita tengok kat sini. Kita ada satu condition here, or we form the one situation that the flow here having the same velocity. So here all the same velocity here. So but velocity here actually not reach yet the plate. After the velocity reach the plate, the velocity before this is a uniform or the same velocity or the same magnitude will be having the different phase of the magnitude. So at the bottom one, the velocity will become 0 because of the no sleep condition. What is the no sleep condition? No sleep condition is we assume the fluid is having the friction. If we assume it's a sleep condition, that means the velocity here and the velocity here is the same, because sleep condition, the particle here, the nearest particle to the plate sleep, so that means not having the frictional. Okay, so if we go through the statement here, the fluid flow over the cylindrical pipe become the complete stop at the space because of the sleep condition. So sleep condition is the effect of the frictional. Okay, so after in the sleep condition, in the no sleep condition, after is the phenomena. So the phenomena actually we call as the boundary layer. So like we call here. So if we assume this is the same velocity. So here if we call here is the 20 meter per second. At the if you see the law drawing the line the drawing is also the 20 meter per second. So kalau kita tengok kat sini, velocity kat sini dengan velocity kat sini adalah sama. So di atas garisan yang saya lukis ni. So di bawah ni dia akan degradation. Maknanya katanya if velocity here is a 20, kat sini velocity maybe 18. So kat sini velocity maybe 16. So kat sini velocity will be 0 lah. So the different velocity here, the line, if we can see here, we call here is a boundary layer. Here we call is a boundary layer. So it is one of the main phenomena that you will see in the fluid mechanics. Okay. So it's a second criteria or second fundamental knowledge that in the fluid mechanics is a viscous and inviscid region. So ini adalah what we call the extent explanation no sleep condition. So if we see here, Here is a effect from the sleep condition. Is a effect from the no sleep condition. Here we call here the same velocity from mainstream. So this is a viscosity effect, or we call it viscous flow region. So if the velocity kat sini yang tak effect daripada frictional, we call the in viscid flow region. So if kita tengok balik dekat sini, viscous flow in which the frictional effect are significant. So frictional effect are significant. So here, so is a frictional effect. So the flow effect from the frictional. In viscid flow, in many flow in practical region, typically region are not close to the solid surface. So viscous flow are negligible small compared to the initial or pressure fall. So not close, that means not affected from the frictional effect. So this one is a not effect to frictional. Okay, so that itu adalah second punya fundamental knowledge. So the third adalah the straightforward external and internal flow. External and internal flow. That means this one is a straightforward lah. So internal flow, the flow will be completely bounded ataupun between the surface. So if pipe flow come here, this one is a internal flow. Mana kata flow bounded by the surface. Surface ini can be anything, can be square, can be anything, triangle. As long as the flow bounded by the surface, we will call internal flow. And this one, external flow, this not unbounded. For example, this one lah. This one we call external flow. Okay, so this one today we will learn more. Hari ini kita akan tengok lebih kepada definition. Sebab ini adalah main. Kalau you tak faham definition, that means you tak boleh nanti nak tengok, nak understand the real situation nanti bila kita tengok chapter 6 nanti. So ini adalah compressible dan incompressible flow. So incompressible, we saw incompressible, that means the density is constant. So this one, the density is not constant. What mean constant? Not constant. So if we having the flow, so what we call here, if we having the flow, if the flow is a velocity for the flow is, for example, 20 meter per second. So we need to what we call to calculate what is the 20 meter per second, what is the Mach number. So Mach number is here. Here is the formula for Mach number. Speed of flow is a 20. Super speed of sound, this one you need to check lah. What is the speed of sound? Usually, if we can call it a 300. So if we calculate here, the value is the 0.2, for example. If 0.2, the incompressible flow, we suggested the condition is a Mach number 0.3 below. That means it's Mach number, we get 0.3 and we can call here is a incompressible flow. Is a Mach number 0.3. Is a Mach number more than 0.3? So if we calculate the Mach number is less than 0.3, we assume that the density is a incompressible flow. So if we calculate the Mach number is more than 0.3, the condition is a compressible flow. So how to calculate? By using this formula. We calculate the Mach number, and we see here if Mach number less than 0.3, we will call incompressible flow. If the Mach number more than 0.3, is a compressible flow. This one only the notification. So if Mach number equal to 1, the flowing in a sonic flow. The Mach number less than 1, the flow is a flow in a condition subsonic flow. If we calculate the Mach number more than 1, the flowing in a supersonic flow. If we calculate more greater than, usually Mach number more than 2 is a hypersonic flow. Okay, this one is a compressible and incompressible flow. So the third or the next fundamental is a laminar and turbulent. What is the laminar and what is the turbulent? So this one actually saya rasa kamu ada dalam kita punya eksperimen to determine what is the laminar, what is the turbulent. So laminar and turbulent is a type of flow. So this one, if the flow is in laminar. So if we see the definition there, the highly ordered fluid flow characterized by a smooth layer of the fluid. The flow high viscosity fluid such as the oil and low velocity is typically a laminar. So the main word here we need to see is a motion characterized by smooth layer of the fluid. So to characterize either laminar, turbulent or transition, actually we have one formula is a Reynolds number. So Reynolds number we will see detail in the chapter 6. So Reynolds number, if the laminar we calculate, if we get less than 200, 2000, we call laminar. So if the turbulent, we calculate the Reynolds number more than 4000 is a turbulent. So the transitional, the Mach number is less than 4000 and more than 2000. So this one we call transition. So this one is straightforward also. So we need to know the flow condition, either the forced flow or natural flow. So the force, if you see the force, the flow after having the mechanical using mechanical machine or using mechanical pump or using mechanical equipment. So natural without using mechanical equipment. So that's all. So if we blow the condition is a natural flow because not using the mechanical equipment. Okay, so then the next fundamental here is a buoyancy effect. Here we need just to capture the force, fundamental force versus weight. Oh, you cannot see here. Okay, this one is the force versus weight. Okay, so if lift force, if force, that means the lift force is greater than weight, that will be the climbing condition. If the force, that means the lift force is equal to the weight, that means the level flight. If the force less than weight, that means weight is much more greater, there will be the descending condition. That's only the fundamental here. Okay, so I think yang ni kita rasanya dah tengok yang I already explain in the chapter 1 I think. If we see the wording steady and unsteady, so steady which mean related to the time. So the term steady, this mean the character, or for example, what is the apa yang tak change time. Maybe temperature, maybe density, maybe velocity, whatever characteristic lah. So if the temperature in the steady condition, for example, if the 2 hours, if the temperature at the initial is 30 degree, after 2 hours also 30 degree. Okay, so that's mean the steady condition, and unsteady, so the temperature will be changed. So the term uniform, okay, what is the steady? We refer to the time, kita merujuk kepada time. Uniform, we refer to the region. So no change location over the specified region. So steady is a time. Okay, periodic refer to the kind of unsteady flow. So this mean is the wording yang kita akan guna dalam unsteady flow. That refer to the unsteady flow, which mean the flow oscillated about the steady mean. So this one is the subset from the unsteady. So di periodic ni selalunya berlaku dalam unsteady flow. So many devices such as turbine, compressor, boiler, condenser, heat exchanger operated for the long period under the same condition. So the device here usually we design for the steady flow device. So ini adalah salah satu yang kita nak refer kepada instantaneous snapshot for the unsteady flow dengan long exposure for the same flow. Ini adalah nak gambarkan saja. Okay, so these are the main criteria ataupun main fundamental yang kita perlu tengok dalam fluid mechanics. So kita tengok kat sini 1, 2, 3 dimension. So kita tengok sini. Okey, apa yang dikatakan dengan 1, 2, 3 dimensional flow? So saya akan buka satu okey, yang ni kita akan tengok kejap lagi. Okey. So kita sebenarnya kita nak tengok 1D, 2D dan juga 3D. So what is the one-dimensional flow? What is the two-dimensional flow and what is the three-dimensional flow? Okay. Kalau kita tengok, kita assume kan kita ada 3 axis. Ini kita katakan Y, ini kita katakan X, ini kita katakan Z. Okay. Sekiranya and then kita ada mainstream here lah, velocity here. Ke sini kita namakan sebagai V. Okay. So if the velocity here only changes in the X direction or only changes in the one direction only, ini kita katakan as a 1D, one dimensional flow. Only changes in one direction on. So we call one dimensional flow. So same here, 2D flow. Yang ini only changes in two direction only. Two direction can be anything. X or N and Y boleh, Y and Z pun boleh, X and Z pun boleh, but only two direction only. So what happen in the other direction? Takkan tak ada flow. So other direction, for example, only changes in, for example here, okay. Okay, kalau kita tengok ini, only, for example, changes two direction. For example, X and Y only. What happened in the other direction? So the third direction, X and Y changes, but for the Z direction is uniform. Same here. So example, if that X direction only changes, Y and Z is uniform. Okay, for 3D flow, all having the changes. That means X, Y, and Z all changes. So this one you need to clear understand what is the 1D flow, 2D flow, and 3D flow. So 3D flow usually we want to solve kita nak solve 3D flow ni, we need to use CFD lah. So cannot use by analytical. So for 2D also we can solve, but consume a lot of time lah. Usually we assume is for analytical, usually for undergraduate we use 1D flow only. Especially untuk level kita sekarang ni engineering technology, kita akan tengok banyak kepada 1D flow lah. Okay. Okay, so balik pada kat sini. So kalau kita tengok sini 1, 2 or 3 dimensional flow. A flow field best characterized by its velocity distribution. The flow state 1, 2 or 3 flow velocity varies in the 1, 2 or 3 dimension respectively. However, the variation of the velocity in a certain direction can be small relative to variation, and direction can be ignored. So the variation, that means the changes. The changes. Macam yang saya cakap tadi itulah, kalau lagi for 1D only X direction only changes. So X and Y X and Z. However, the variation is small. To be variation, sometimes to be ignored. So we assume will be uniform. Okay. So itu adalah yang dikatakan dengan 1, 2 and 3 dimensional flow. So yang ini sebenarnya kita dah cover dalam chapter 1, iaitu dalam thermodynamic, what is we call the saturation. What is the temperature saturation, what is the pressure saturation, what is the vapor pressure and what is the partial pressure. So kalau kita tengok di sini, so sebelum ni saya ada tanya suhu mendidih dalam condition macam mana. So suhu mendidih pada condition 100 degree with the temperature 1 atm. So, calahlah sebelum ni yang kita dah tengok di sini, ini adalah curve yang biasa saya tunjukkan dalam kelas tu. So, ini adalah saturation line. Yang ini adalah saturation for liquid saturation. Ini adalah for vapor saturation. So, ini adalah region liquid. Ini adalah region vapor. Ini adalah mixture. Okey, so itu adalah yang ini adalah saturation line lah ni. So ini saya rasa kita tak perlu detail lah sebab kita dah tengok dalam chapter 1 hari tu. So yang saya nak betul-betul nak fokus adalah viscosity. So viscosity ini adalah property represent the internal resistance of the fluid to motion or the fluidity. So if kalau dalam bahasa Melayu kita tengok ini adalah kelikatan. Okey. So kalau kita ini adalah definition untuk viscosity. The property represent the internal resistance. So that means the high viscosity, high internal resistance. So that means more difficult to move lah. So high difficult move because of the internal resistance is very high. So if viscosity is high, so the drag force will become also very high. Because the drag force is the resistance. The drag force, the formula of the drag force related to the resistance. So the viscosity of the fluid is the measure of the resistance to deformation. So here the formula that you need to understand about if you want to calculate the viscosity. So viscosity actually berlaku pada condition Newtonian fluid. So ini adalah formula ni valid sekiranya kita assume ni adalah Newtonian fluid. Apa itu Newtonian fluid? Fluid which the rate of the deformation is proportional to the shear stress. Ni adalah karakteristik we use to calculate the viscosity by assume that the fluid is a Newtonian. So here adalah main karakteristik lah yang kita guna untuk calculate the what we call viscosity, the shear stress. So here is what we call as a viscosity coefficient. So this one is we call the dynamic viscosity. So dynamic viscosity. Ada one kita sebenarnya viscosity ni kita ada dua condition. Kita ada dynamic viscosity and also kita ada kinematic viscosity. So what happen? Apa perbezaan kinematic and fluid? So kat sini kalau kita tengok definition kat sini, for fluid, dynamic and kinematic viscosity are practically independent of the pressure. And small variation pressure usually disgraded except the extreme high pressure. But for the gases, it also case for the dynamic using at the but for the kinematic viscosity, since the density of the gas is proportional to the pressure. So that's mean in liquid, the dynamic viscosity and kinematic viscosity usually we can assume is the same, but for the gases will be different. So here, after the certain time, so is this one we call the viscosity for the fluid and viscosity for the gases variation with the temperature. So if the temperature increase, the viscosity for the liquid will be decreased, and for the gases will be high. So if you see here, the viscosity of the fluid is directly related to the pumping power. The viscosity because the cohesion force between in the liquid, the molecule possess more energy at the higher temperature, and they can oppose the larger cohesion intermolecular force more strongly. As result, the energy can be more freely. So if the high temperature, the liquid will become more less resistant. That means kalau kita tengok di sini, kalau temperature makin naik, liquid ni akan at the certain time will become gases. So at the temperature for the gases pula, the intermolecular force are negligible, and for the high temperature, more readily at a higher velocity. So the more molecular collision per volume per unit time, then the greater. So bila the high the what you call the velocity is much more higher. So much more higher the collision. So makna katanya the molecule for the gases is more collision. So more collision, that means we contribute the higher resistance. So if kalau kita tengok balik dia punya definition, the higher resistance will become the higher viscosity. So ini adalah yang kita boleh tengok sebagai dia punya properties of the dynamic viscosity within the material. So kalau kita tengok kat sini, okay, untuk water, for the zero temperature, the dynamic viscosity is 0.0018. But for the 20, we become smaller. At the liquid, much more smaller. And the water in the vapor condition, 0.00012. Approximately for the menghampiri lebih kurang sama dengan air. So air also 0.00018. So ini adalah yang dikatakan sebagai how to calculate viscometer. So ini adalah formula ataupun condition yang kita boleh guna untuk calculate viscometer. Macam mana kita nak calculate viscosity ya. So itu adalah topik yang dah di-cover untuk hari ini. So kita dah tengok no slip condition. So ini adalah yang kita tengok tadi at the plate, the velocity here is 0 because of the frictional. So and then the classification of the fluid flow, kita dah tengok viscosity and inviscid. So kita dah tengok yang layer tu. So ini adalah knowledge yang sama dengan no slip condition. Internal and external flow clear. If bounded or flow within the bounded, we become the internal. If the flow not having apa-apa bounded, we call the external. Okay, compressible, incompressible regarding the density. Either density is a constant or not constant. So how to judge? We need to calculate the Mach number. So laminar and turbulent. So how to judge? By using the Reynolds number. So natural and unforced is a mechanical pump. So if the flow using the mechanical equipment, we call the forced condition, forced flow. If not, we become the natural flow. Steady and unsteady, how to judge? Is the time. If the flow changing within the time, we call steady and unsteady. If no change within the time, we call steady. So 1, 2, 3 dimensional. So the flow changing in which axis. If only changing in a one axis, we call one dimensional flow. If two axis changing and other axis that are uniform, we call two dimensional. So and so on is a three dimensional. So viscosity is a resistance in the fluid. So this one I will skip for the case in the MCO because this one will be covered later lah. Maybe we cover in the report. So all here kita dah cover untuk today punya lecture itu lecture 4. Okay, so ada remaining yang perlu saya highlight. Okay, so saya minta semua refer balik kepada sentiasa buka Google Form. Okay, so ini adalah apa yang saya nak explain berkaitan dengan how to prepare the PBL report lah. So sebelum tu saya nak tunjuk. Okay, so this week, untuk this week, this one is a week 8, I think. Okay, week 8. So you have to do 3 things in the week 8. Number 1, I already upload the quiz, special quiz. So this one you need to submit before this Friday. So this one only one question. This one only one question only. So this one I will take as a attendance. Okay, number 2, I already upload last week. Starting from last week, I already upload assignment. So this assignment number 1. Yang ni juga kamu kena hantar on Friday. And the third one, you need to choose the PBL topic. So yang ni dia punya, you need to choose before Saturday. So sekarang ni saya akan explain what is this guideline in the next video. Okay, untuk next video saya akan explain how to prepare the PBL report. Okay, untuk chapter number 4 ini saja daripada saya. Okay, sekian, terima kasih.